Welcome to Thunder Madness. This week, we're going to discuss some Thunder items and some things from around the league. The first question for Darnell Mayberry, the beat writer for the Thunder, is why did the Thunder send Kyle Weaver to Tulsa when he played in 49 games and started 17 games?
Well, I mean, when you look at it, he was playing 15, 16, 17 minutes as sort of the 6th, 7th, 8th man with the Thunder. They sent him down to Tulsa. He's only going to miss one game with the Thunder. He's going to get more minutes, 40, 41 minutes a game with the 66ers as opposed to 16, 17 with the Thunder. So they want him to sort of go down there, get more minutes, have an opportunity to play some point guard, which he did Wednesday night against that Austin team in Austin. So as long as they get Kyle some minutes to play point guard and sort of develop his game, work on his shot and some of the other aspects of his game, they look at that as a positive.
Sort of just a quick late season tune-up type of thing, and then bring him right back, and he'll still be with the Thunder.
Right,
soon.
And I don't think this is not going to be something that's going to be out of the ordinary next year. I think we're going to see Kyle Weaver go down to Tulsa a lot more next year than he did this year. The only reason he didn't this year is because they had some injuries earlier in the season. They had some guys who were banged up, and really they were just shorthanded, didn't have an opportunity to send a lot of guys down to Tulsa. I think next year we're going to see them sort of getting more of a habit of sending DJ White, Kyle Weaver, and some of the other rookies that they get from this year down to Tulsa more often.
Next question is, how have the acquisitions of Cephalosha knocked Weaver down the pecking order, maybe even Shaun Livingston, who they signed this week, that's still a little bit of a project. Does that affect his playing time at all in the future, more next season?
Well, I think Cephalosha definitely does. I mean, Cephalosha is a guy who has more experience in the league. He's a better defender, sort of more versatile at this point, just because he has more experience. Shaun Livingston, I think they're still looking at just to determine where he is in his recovery from that knee injury. So I don't think Shaun Livingston is going to impact Kyle Weaver's playing time as much as Thabo Cephalosha is.
And really quick on Shaun Livingston, they said today at practice on Friday before they played Portland that, obviously he's not where he was 3 or 4 years ago, but Calls and some other guys said they were pretty well impressed with the way he is playing, considering the injury he had, that kneecap, all those torn ACL, PCLs, just pull out every letter in the alphabet. That it looks like it's one of those things they really want to monitor in the next 3 or 4 months, but the starting point right now isn't as bad as it looked like 6 months ago, maybe even a year ago.
Well, I got a chance to see him down in Tulsa a couple of weeks back, and he looks like he's sort of recovering and getting back to where he once was. He's still not there.
He'll probably never be the same player.
He'll probably never be the same player, but I mean, in terms of getting the pain away and being able to do some things on the court, he's showing flashes, and that's just a sign of progress. He said he won't probably be healthy until next season. So, I think you have to look at Shaun Livingston and just give this whole injury some time.
And then next up, the Portland Trailblazers are in town Friday night, the first of the last 4 home games. Oklahoma City beat them here earlier in the season. They've also beaten Dallas, San Antonio, Utah, go down the list. How important is it to beat some of your division rivals and teams you're going to play year in, year out as you build for the future?
Well, I think the most important thing is just the fact that the division winner gets a top 4 seed in the NBA playoffs. And right now, it's not important for the Thunder. I think you build confidence knowing that you can beat some of the Utahs, the Denvers, and Portlands. But right now, these divisional wins don't really mean all that much to a non-playoff team.
Do division games really matter, do you think? Because it's really conference, you play about everybody the same. Are division wins even that much other than tiebreakers? Are they that big a deal?
Other than tiebreakers, I wouldn't say so. I mean, aside from, like I said, the guaranteed top 4 seed for the division winner, other than a tiebreaker, I think it's not all that important.
Most people think Devin Harris is a lock for most improved player in the league this year, but ESPN, one of their writers this week, had Durant around Devin Harris for the first time all season. You think he's got a viable shot at this award to even finish in the top 2 or 3, or is it a slam dunk Devin Harris is going to win?
I think Kevin Durant has a shot. I think he's turning a lot of heads, especially what he did January and February before he got hurt, averaging 33 points a game. And before that injury in Dallas, I mean, he was playing all-star basketball. And if he'd done that in November, December, he probably would have been an all-star. So I think Kevin Durant is definitely turning heads. I just think Devin Harris, what he's done with his scoring, is really just sort of run away with that most improved player award. But the thing that's interesting, and I might be writing about this here soon, is that when you look at Devin Harris, his field goal percentage is sort of terrible. He's shooting 43%, and he's basically doing what Kevin Durant did last year. He's not a very efficient player. He's basically chucking up a lot of shots and scoring, but he's not doing it with much efficiency. And that's what Kevin Durant did last year, and that was the biggest knock on his game. And that's why people are saying this year that he's in the running for most improved, because he's taken a big step in terms of efficiency. And so until Devin Harris gets that, I think, if people really look at it, then that could be a big knock on Devin Harris.
I'm going to play devil's advocate. We're both going to have votes. All our postseason awards that we vote on and the rest of the country votes on here, from MVP, Coach of the Year, Most Improved, Sixth Man, all these awards. I'm going to play devil's advocate and argue maybe the best player on this roster for chance at Most Improved would be Jeff Green. I think he should be a candidate as well, not just Kevin Durant. You
Why?
agree or disagree? Because his average went from 10 to 17. His three-pointers went from 22 to over 100. He's improved just across the board. He leads the team in rebounding. He's improved across the board just like Kevin Durant. I think he's maybe even taken more of an improvement than Kevin Durant. I'm just saying, playing devil's advocate, I think you could argue Jeff Green has improved more than maybe even Kevin Durant has this
I would
year.
agree with that argument. Just to play devil's advocate for a second, the guy you wrote about today, Rick Bucher, comparing Oklahoma City's future to Portland's and saying Oklahoma City has a brighter future. I talked to him not too long ago, and he said that Jeff Green is never going to get the recognition that he deserves from a national standpoint.
Because he's in
just
the shadow.
Because he's in the shadow of Kevin Durant. He's more of a complimentary player, and from that standpoint, he probably doesn't have a shot. That's just one national guy's opinion.
The last topic is one I addressed in the Sunday paper. Be sure to pick up on the Sunday NBA page. But will the removal of interim being from Scott Brooks' title here soon? Is it just a formality? Is it a foregone conclusion? I draw my conclusions in Sunday paper. I'll let them read it that. What's your opinion right now?
I think it will be removed soon. I think Sam Presti, the GM, is going to wait until the offseason to do it. I do think he's going to explore his options. I don't think, as we sit here today, April 3rd, I don't think he's going to just say, right as the season's over, he's going to give him a guaranteed contract to be the full-time head coach. I do think he's going to explore his options, whether that's a higher profile coach or if that's sort of an up-and-comer out there. But I think Scott Brooks has done enough to get this job. The players like him. They've said that numerous times in the past. What he's done with this team, when you look at the record since New Year's Eve, I think he's made a strong case for himself.
Well, the one tease I will give for Sunday's paper is somebody mentioned to me recently he doesn't have much leverage. He's a first-time head coach. He can't go in negotiations. My argument was, no, it's just the opposite. He has done such a good job. People around the league, Sacramento regrets maybe not hiring him over Reggie Theus. Guess what? That's one of the 7 teams we examined in the Sunday paper on who may and may not be back with interim tags on there. So that'll wrap up this edition of ThunderMadness.com. Be sure to read all the Thunder coverage and the NBA every day in the Oklahoman.